Hey guys, Ricky Widmer here from Most Valuable Podcast. You're about to listen to a little bit of our primetime podcast that we recorded this week. Make sure to go to BlogTalkRadio / Most Valuable Podcast for our full-length podcast that you can go ahead and download. I hope you enjoy it. I know me and Brandon did recording it.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with the one, the only, Brandon Swanson.
Hey.
And welcome into the Primetime Podcast here on Most Valuable Podcast. If you're on YouTube, thanks for checking us out. If you downloaded us via Blog Talk Radio, thanks for the download today. Hope you guys enjoy the podcast. We've got a jam-packed, I say jam-packed, and I know I do this bit where I'm like, I say we jam-packed. But Brandon, we are fitting in possibly the most topics. We had 4 lined up for today, but then Duke and college basketball kind of threw a 5th one at us. So we're going to have 5 total topics on this podcast today.
Yeah, Ricky, you do that every time. You come on and you shtick. Open up and you tell everyone that we've got a jam-packed show, and I think people are going to be waiting for the day. They're going to be caught off guard when you come on and say, "We got nothing. We got nothing for you today, folks."
It may come after March Madness when we are in the dead time of
in the depression. We're in the depression zone. Then it's just like, what do we talk about? I mean, I guess we could stretch and reach and talk a little bit about, where Chip Kelly's going to coach this next year, but do we want to? Not really. So it's a really
We're going to talk about that today.
Time.
We're going to look at that today. And what we're going to look at is the national championship game. We're going to look at Sam Darnold, Chip Kelly, the Minnesota Golden Gophers situation, firing their head coach. But the thing I want to start with, Brandon, is the gift I said that Duke and college basketball kind of laid in our lap, because if you guys did not go back and listen about, I want to say it was a week ago, me and Brandon talked about Grayson Allen being suspended for indefinitely. He was suspended indefinitely after his tripping incident, which is 2 weeks from today, Wednesday, as we are recording this podcast. Well, guess what, Brandon? They lose to Virginia Tech, they being Duke, lose to Virginia Tech, and then realize, oh, wait, we need him. And guess who played today against Georgia Tech, where they won 110-57? Grayson Allen.
Well, I have to say, when you say that you go on, when someone's put on an indefinite suspension, that's not a game. A game is when you say they've got a game suspension. Simple. Mm-hmm. Indefinite suspension means a couple of games. You miss a couple. This is interesting to me because I was pretty sure that with the way that Coach K had handled it, the way that he had talked about it, and the consequences of what he said for an indefinite suspension, that Grayson Allen was not going to be seeing the court for, I would say, a handful of games. But of course, you have to realize is that when you lose, if you blow out Virginia Tech, if you beat Virginia Tech, he probably sits in this game against Georgia Tech. But that was not the case. I think that it's a little unfortunate. It's a little disappointing to see Coach K kind of go back on what he had said. Yes, he sat for one game. But is one game enough? And I just don't know if it is. This is not a one incident, 2 incidences. This is 3 times that this tripping incident has occurred against 3 different teams. Same guy always involved. That's Grayson Allen. 1 game, Ricky. I'm usually one, and you know me. When we talk about these things, we talked about a couple of these this year. Not a tripping incident, and not in college basketball, but football. I usually am, Let them handle it internally. Let the players continue to, play in the games. If they, in practice, there will be something internally. But here, I really did believe Grayson Allen, it's been so blatant on national TV. He's done it 3 times. 1 game, not enough.
I am disappointed in Duke basketball. I am disappointed. And I know what you're probably thinking listening to me say that is, well, Ricky, Coach K, Grayson Allen, they don't care. They don't care if you're disappointed in them because you're not a big shot. Well, the thing that gets me most upset about this is the thing that I thought of immediately was, what could he have learned sitting out one game? Nothing. You learned nothing. You know what I learned from this? I learned that we were all right in the beginning when everyone was like, oh, you know what? He's not going to sit. It's all about winning games. And if he can help the team win, then he won't get suspended. Then the next day, oh, Grayson Allen suspended indefinitely the day after it happens. And I'm sitting there going, wow, I'm pleasantly shocked that we were all wrong. And then I hear Coach K go on the Dan Patrick Show, and I'm pleasantly surprised by his interview. A complete different tone than I heard the night before after that Elon game where the tripping incident happened. But now this happens, and it proves that just because you lose one game that you thought you should have won at Virginia Tech, that really, when it boils down to it, Brandon, winning is all that matters. And if you can help the team win, it doesn't matter what you do, you will see playing time. That's what this proved, and that is why I am disappointed in not just Coach K, I'm disappointed in the Duke athletic department as well, because there also could have been a decision made where it's like, Coach, this guy is not playing. We cannot let him play after only sitting one game.
Ricky, how big of a factor do you think it plays that Coach K coached his last game tonight before against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets before having back surgery that's going to put him on the sidelines for 4 weeks, and they're going to hand it off to one of the assistant coaches? How big of an impact do you think that has, that he wanted his star player back before he went and had his back surgery?
I thought about that too. It played a huge part into this. It had to have. Because the one thing, like, if you're a Duke fan, you could not have been thinking, oh, we're going to be fine without Grayson Allen, without Coach K on the sideline. You had to be thinking, like, yeah, I know Jeff Chappell is a good coach, or Jeff Capel is a good coach, is probably coaching for a head coaching job to prove himself to get back into that ranks. But you had to be sitting there with a little bit of doubt saying, hey, we are not going to do well, especially when we get to the floor. If we get to Florida State without Coach K, without Grayson Allen, and then have to play Louisville, both on the road, without Coach K, without Grayson Allen, this was them saying, we need one of them out there, and it is going to be Grayson Allen. And I'm going back to it. I am disappointed because it's one of those things where, I mean, people could probably say, oh, well, he learned his lesson. He sat a game. No, you did not learn your lesson after just sitting one game. And I know what people are going to say. Oh, but Ricky, you didn't trip anyone today. Yeah, let's wait a couple games. He'll be back because guess what? When players are like this, they usually go back to their old habits. And as we have seen, this is his old habit. It's happened 3 times already, and it's not even one full calendar year from when the first one happened.
Ricky, road games coming up for Duke. Number 12, Florida State. Number 9, Louisville. Allen tripped players from both teams last season. Very interesting.
I am this was one of those things where Brandon and I told you, I'm like, we're talking about this. Because this was one of the things where I just don't like, I understand it because it's one of those things where, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe cynical is the word I'm looking for, but I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. It's basically when you think you know the world is a shitty place, but you try to see the best in the world, and then someone shows you that the world isn't really a shitty place all the time, and then you're like, oh, there is good in the world, and then that shittiness just fucking sweeps the happiness right off the side. That's what this is. It showed me that, hey, maybe winning isn't all that matters when it comes to these. Maybe doing the right thing is what matters in learning a lesson. But in the end, Duke just showed it does not matter what you do. You will play if you have talent to do so.
Ricky, I think that once the show's over today, we may just have to take you by, get you an ice cream cone, and maybe
I would
all
love an ice
will
cream.
be
Maybe an
right.
Andy's custard.
Maybe all will be
custard.
right in the world again for you. But I think that even though Grayson Allen only is suspended for one game, I still think that he's an extremely talented player. I think that he is going to do well. I don't think that the suspension was long enough. I think it should have been a couple of games because I think that would have made him really... I don't want to say that it would have made him really upset on the bench, but it would have made him understand, guess what? My team needs me out there. I need to be a better player. I need to be a better teammate. I got to not think about me. I've got to think about them, and I'm affecting them when I'm not on the floor. Again, Grayson Allen has an opportunity to make really good things happen for Duke this season, and then he has an opportunity to put himself at a decent draft position come this next year. So I think that Grayson Allen, did he get enough time? Probably not. But I still think that he can change around his game and see my team needs me in a way that I can't do those types of things. I can't be selfish like that. That's selfish. That's selfish play. You're thinking about yourself. He's got to put that aside. He can do really good things for Duke. Duke can do really good things. And this team can show that they're a number one team and they can get back to that number one spot, certainly. But they're going to need Grayson Allen and a clear, level head to do so.
Utterly shocked is what I was when I saw that breaking news from ESPN come to my phone. And I'm going to say it again. Disappointed is how I'm feeling in college basketball and mostly Duke athletics, not just the basketball team. But this is a topic that I just wanted to throw out there. Didn't want to go a ton into. I just wanted to get our quick reactions and then do what we do best and turn it on to you guys. Turn the conversation on to you guys. Let us know down in the comment section or on Twitter. Hit us up on Twitter, young_Swan, at Ricky Widmer. Let us know what you think about this. Well, thank you guys for checking out this video from the Primetime Podcast. If you want to check out more, click right over here. The video's right over here. Check it out. Check it out.